Not every connection that feels intense is real love. Not every bond that excites the heart is meant to last. Real love reveals itself quietly, through signs most people overlook. Many people spend their lives searching, guessing, questioning, and doubting when it comes to love. They look for fireworks, constant excitement, or dramatic emotion, believing that intensity must mean destiny. But what if the clearest signals are not loud at all? What if authentic connection announces itself through calm recognition rather than chaos? Real love does not confuse you. It does not keep you anxious. It does not keep you anxious. It does not demand that you abandon yourself. Instead, it feels natural, steady, and strangely familiar, like something your soul already understands. One of the earliest indicators is ease. Not boredom, not lack of passion, but effortlessness. Conversations flow without forcing. Silence feels comfortable rather than awkward. You are not constantly rehearsing what to say or worrying how you appear. There is no performance, only presence. This ease is not accidental. It happens when two inner worlds align without resistance. Another sign appears in how you feel afterward. Not during the moment of excitement, but after interactions settle. True connection leaves you calmer, clearer, and more grounded. It does not drain your energy or leave you replaying words in your head. Instead of emotional highs followed by lows, there is balance. Peace becomes the aftertaste. When connection stabilizes your inner world rather than disturbing it, something real is forming. Notice how fear behaves around this person. With surface-level attraction, fear multiplies. Fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of saying the wrong thing. With authentic love, fear slowly dissolves. You are not constantly guarding your heart. You do not feel the need to manipulate outcomes. Trust builds quietly, not because promises were made, but because consistency is felt. Another powerful indicator lies in how life feels when you imagine a future involving them. Not fantasy, but emotional realism. Does your body relax when you think of walking forward together, or does it tense? True alignment feels expansive. It does not shrink your world. It does not require sacrifice of your values, dreams, or identity. Instead, it enhances your sense of self. Observe how growth occurs in this dynamic. Real love encourages evolution without force. You naturally want to become better, not to earn affection, but because inspiration arises effortlessly. There is no pressure to change who you are. Improvement comes from feeling supported rather than corrected. This kind of connection does not demand perfection. It allows humanity. True love also mirrors emotional maturity. Disagreements do not turn into power struggles. Communication does not become a battlefield. Even when tension appears, respect remains intact. There is no silent punishment, no manipulation, no withdrawal to gain control. Resolution matters more than winning. Understanding matters more than ego. Another sign often overlooked is how safe vulnerability feels. You can express uncertainty, fear, or weakness without feeling diminished. There is no instinct to hide parts of yourself. You are not selectively authentic. Emotional honesty flows naturally. And when you share, you are met with understanding rather than judgment. Time behaves differently in this connection. There is no urgency to define everything immediately. There is no rush to label, possess, or secure. Patience exists because trust exists. When something is real, it does not fear time. It knows depth cannot be rushed. Stability grows gradually, not explosively. Observe how your nervous system responds. With surface attraction, the body often stays alert, hyper-aware, tense, restless. With real love, the body softens. Breathing slows. Shoulders relax. The nervous system recognizes safety before the mind does. This physical response is one of the most honest indicators. Another signal appears in how you handle absence. When someone is not aligned, distance creates panic or obsession. When alignment exists, space does not threaten the bond. There is trust even in separation. You do not feel abandoned. You feel connected beyond constant contact. Pay attention to how life synchronizes around this connection. Not in dramatic coincidences, but in subtle alignment. Timing improves. Conversations deepen at the right moments. Obstacles feel manageable rather than overwhelming. Life seems to cooperate instead of resist. This flow is not magic. It is alignment responding to inner harmony. True love does not awaken old wounds repeatedly. While it may reveal them initially, it does not keep triggering pain. Instead, healing becomes possible. Patterns break rather than repeat. Emotional safety allows scars to soften. You are not reliving past heartbreaks. You are closing chapters. Another sign is how choices feel. You do not abandon yourself to keep the connection. Boundaries remain intact. Individuality is respected. You are not shrinking to fit someone else's expectations. Instead, your authentic self is welcomed. Notice how jealousy behaves. Possessiveness fades when trust deepens. There is no constant checking, no need for control. Security replaces suspicion. True love does not create competition with the world, it allows freedom without fear. Your intuition becomes quieter, not louder. With wrong connections, intuition screams warnings. With real alignment, intuition rests. There is no inner conflict, no mixed signals. Clarity replaces confusion. Another powerful indicator is gratitude without attachment. You appreciate the connection without fearing loss. You enjoy moments without mentally clinging to them. Presence becomes possible because anxiety dissolves. Observe how mutual effort feels. There is balance, not calculation. Giving does not feel like depletion. Receiving does not create guilt. Energy flows naturally both ways. Reciprocity exists without negotiation. True love also respects timing. It does not force circumstances. It does not demand immediate transformation. It allows unfolding. Patience is not practiced. It exists naturally. Finally, the strongest sign of all is inner stillness. Not excitement, not obsession, not intensity, but calm certainty. Something within you knows, without explanation. You do not need reassurance. You do not need proof. You simply recognize alignment. Real love does not shout. It does not rush. It does not confuse. It arrives quietly, stays steadily, and feels like coming home. True love does not arrive like a storm that shakes your entire life. It enters gently, almost quietly, and settles without resistance. Instead of emotional highs, followed by deep uncertainty, there is balance. You are not constantly guessing where you stand or questioning intentions. There is no rush to define everything because clarity already exists beneath the surface. Calm replaces confusion. You feel emotionally steady rather than overstimulated. This kind of connection does not demand constant attention to survive. It feels natural, like breathing. There is attraction, but it is not fueled by anxiety or fear of loss. Instead, it is sustained by familiarity and ease. You are not addicted to the feeling. You are comfortable within it. Real love feels stable because it aligns with who you are, not who you are trying to become for someone else. It brings peace rather than emotional chaos. And that peace is not dull. It is grounding, reassuring, and deeply fulfilling. After spending time with the right person, your inner state feels clearer. Your thoughts are not racing. Your emotions are not tangled. Instead of replaying conversations or questioning every detail, you feel settled. The connection leaves you emotionally nourished rather than depleted. There is no sense of having to recover from the interaction. Your energy remains intact. True love does not consume you. It supports you. You feel lighter, not heavier. Calm replaces tension. Even after separation, you do not feel empty or anxious. There is a quiet satisfaction instead of emotional hunger. This is because genuine connection restores balance rather than creating dependence. It does not pull energy from you. It shares energy with you. The bond feels sustainable, not exhausting. When someone adds clarity to your inner world rather than confusion, that is not coincidence. That is alignment. Real love stabilizes your emotional state instead of disturbing it. Fear behaves very differently when love is real. Instead of growing stronger, it gradually fades. You are not constantly afraid of being abandoned, misunderstood, or replaced. Trust builds naturally without needing constant reassurance. You stop overthinking messages, tone, or timing. There is a sense of emotional safety that does not need explanation. You are not bracing for disappointment. You do not feel the urge to test the connection or provoke reactions. Peace replaces vigilance. This does not mean uncertainty never appears, but it does not control your behavior. Fear no longer leads your choices. You act from confidence instead of anxiety. Trust forms because actions feel consistent and intentions feel clear. There is no need to protect your heart aggressively. You are open without feeling exposed. When fear loses its grip naturally, not through effort, but through experience, it reveals a connection rooted in stability rather than insecurity. Comfortable silence is one of the clearest signals of real connection. You do not feel pressured to fill every moment with words. Silence does not feel awkward or heavy. It feels shared. Presence replaces performance. You can sit together without distraction, without anxiety, without the need to impress. This ease reflects emotional safety. You are not afraid of being seen as boring or inadequate. You are simply yourself. In this space, authenticity thrives. You are not editing your thoughts or reactions. You are not measuring your worth by how entertaining you appear. Silence becomes another form of communication. Quiet, steady, and reassuring. This kind of comfort cannot be forced. It emerges when two people feel accepted without conditions. When silence feels peaceful instead of uncomfortable, it indicates that the connection exists beyond words. It shows emotional alignment that does not require constant validation or stimulation. Growth within real love feels supportive, not demanding. You naturally want to improve, not because you fear losing the person, but because you feel encouraged. There is no pressure to change who you are to be accepted. Instead, you feel safe enough to evolve. Improvement comes from inspiration, not criticism. You are not corrected, controlled, or compared. Your progress is celebrated rather than required. This type of encouragement builds confidence instead of insecurity. You become stronger because you are supported, not because you are pushed. True love does not highlight your flaws. It helps you see your potential. You are not afraid of making mistakes. You are not walking on eggshells. Growth happens organically when acceptance comes first. When someone helps you expand without making you feel inadequate, the connection is rooted in respect rather than control. The body responds honestly before the mind does. In the presence of real love, your nervous system softens. Breathing becomes slower. Muscles relax. You do not feel alert or tense. There is no constant state of readiness. Instead, your body recognizes safety. This physical calm is important because the body does not lie. Anxiety-driven attraction often keeps the body on edge. True alignment allows the body to rest. You feel grounded rather than restless. Your presence feels settled instead of scattered. This response indicates emotional security at a deep level. When the nervous system relaxes, trust follows naturally. You do not have to convince yourself that something feels right. Your body already knows. This calm physical response reflects a connection that supports emotional stability instead of triggering stress. Distance does not destabilize real love. When separation occurs, you do not panic. You do not feel abandoned or forgotten. The connection does not depend on constant contact to exist. Trust remains intact. You feel secure even when communication pauses. There is no urge to chase reassurance or create drama to feel connected. Independence remains respected. You continue living your life without fear of losing the bond. This stability shows emotional maturity on both sides. The connection does not rely on proximity alone. It exists beyond constant interaction. When absence does not create anxiety, it shows that the bond is rooted in trust rather than attachment. True love allows space without weakening. It remains steady because it is not built on fear of loss. Perhaps the most important sign is that you do not disappear within the connection. Your identity remains intact. Your values remain respected. Your voice remains heard. You do not abandon your needs or boundaries to maintain harmony. Instead, you feel more aligned with yourself. You express freely without fear of rejection. You are accepted as you are, not tolerated conditionally. True love does not require self-erasure. It enhances self-connection. You feel supported in being authentic rather than pressured to adjust. The relationship does not consume you. It complements you. When you become more yourself instead of less. The connection is healthy. Real love strengthens identity rather than dissolving it.